Warning: the following podcast contains violent scenes that may be unsettling to some listeners. Listener discretion is advised. Hello, and welcome back to Twin Cities by Night and our third story arc, Dread. Dread is set in the Twin Cities of Minnesota, Minneapolis, and St. Paul in the hot and humid summer of 2011. Join us again and continue to follow the journey of Katao, played by Quinn, and William, played by Slavic, as they continue to traverse the dark society held within the Twin Cities. They will be joined by three new kindred: Warren, a Tremere, played by Adam; Valentine, a Nosferatu, played by Alex; and Lenny, a Nosferatu, played by Andrew. The coterie will find themselves joined together by a sense of dread. If you would like to contact us, you can follow us on Twitter at twin_cities_VTM or Facebook at Twin Cities by Night. We hope you enjoy. So Mitch, you're in this Jeep Grand Cherokee driving with Jenna, and you guys are cutting your way through these streets, and you see that she parks in front of a place called you see a sign up front on the side of this red brick building, and it's called the JS Bean Factory. It's in St. Paul. And you kind of see where, like, you see the front of it, and you see like these double glass doors, but you see on the side of it, you can see where it goes back, like to a back area. And you see it has like these metal crafted, like smaller tables where like 3 or 4 people can sit. That's circular, and it kind of has like this, like a old school picnic bench that's kind of in the back there where people can sit and have coffee, and that has like these lanterns that kind of hang from these ropes, you know what I mean, that go across the open sky, like from one end to the other, and it has like there's plants, and it's real, like, kind of a lack of a better term, like urban hipster kind of relax, sit here and drink your coffee vibe, where people can go sit back and have privacy and sit there and not be overheard. And Jenna turns off the key, turns off the Jeep, and she turns and looks at you, and she's like, Warren, there's one thing I need to ask you to do while interacting with these people when they come here. It doesn't have to happen today, but it needs to happen for the good of our family. We need you to see what you can see, if you can get any information from the one named Katao about anything dealing with the Malkavians. There's word going around right now that something may have happened with that clan, and we feel that Katao might be the source of that information that's been going about in our social circles. Don't be too upfront about it. Do what you're good at. See if you can get them to open up. But it'll help me out.
All right, I'll do it.
Okay. So they'll be here in about 30 minutes. So you're free to do what you need to do. You asked to be here. Let's have some fun. She kind of opens the door and gets out, and walks around the front of the Jeep between another vehicle that's parked on the side of the road, and kind of steps on the sidewalk and is waiting for you to get out.
Warren will cock an eyebrow when she says fun, and then he'll open the door and sort of slowly get out. He'll take stock of his surroundings. I'm going to go buy a coffee.
You go ahead and do that, and I'll go with you. Is that okay?
I'd prefer you didn't.
Okay. I'll be in the back area then, okay?
Okay.
All right. And as you can see, like, she has to walk through the front doors with you, you know what I mean? But to get to the back area, which I'll explain, but she like just kind of walks in separately, doesn't, crowd your space. So when you walk into, you go first, actually. You open up one of the glass double doors. You see, like, on the front, there's like flyers for like local bands that are playing at different, you know what I mean, different clubs and stuff like that. And you can kind of see like flyers for random like yoga clubs or something that are kind of taped on there. And you open the door and walk in, and you see like the floor is like this, like it's wood, like a hardwood floor, and you could see like it's got some scuff marks or whatever, but it kind of matches like ambiance of this place inside. And you, as you look around, you can see like there's some like leather sitting couches that are kind of like in a couple corners, and you see like there's some tables, some like wooden tables that are kind of like a lighter shade of the mahogany that you see on the floor. You can see there's like kind of vibrant colors that are along the wall. You see there's plants and vines that are kind of like in the corners that go along the top. You hear like this very relaxing like acoustic like song where there's like a not like really a band playing and just like a soothing voice of some folk singer that's singing through. And you see that there's a handful of people that are in there sitting there, like young vibrant people that are like full of life. This isn't like this isn't like the coffee houses of the 90s. This is where like people are going to enjoy their lives and talk about things that they enjoy, like art, music, and so on and so forth. And as you walk in, you see like there's this in the center of this establishment, there is where the coffee is made. It's almost like four bars that are connected like in a square. So, and you kind of see like behind it, there's like more chairs and stuff like that. But you see hanging from the ceiling, there's this like chalkboard, like a school chalkboard kind of thing where like there's a menu that's like drawn up in like bright different colored chalks, and like different types of drinks. And you can see the actual bar itself. You see like these espresso machines, and you see all the stuff that is used to make coffee, like the different flavors that are put in there. And you see his old cash register, and you see that there's some lady that's like sitting there working, and she kind of has like blonde hair, and it's kind of like cut to her shoulders a little bit, and she has like a pencil that's behind her ear, and she's wearing like a t-shirt with like some like random band name that you don't even recognize, and has jeans on, and she looks like vibrant, and excited to see you. And when you look at her, you don't get the sense that it's like a fake being happy, that she's just generally young and naive. And as you come walking up, she's like, well, welcome to the JS Bean Factory. What would you like?
I'll need a minute to look at the menu, please.
Yes, definitely. Take your time. And she turns around and goes and does like starts wiping off some stuff. And as you say that, you can kind of see Jenna is like walking to the right around the bar area, this the square of a bar, into where you see that there's like another set of glass doors in the far right corner, and you can see she opens it up. And when she opens it up, you can see kind of in the back patio area where people can go out there and drink coffee too.
Okay. Warren's going to just sort of take a moment and he'll open up his sense of smell, his sense of hearing, try to get a feel for the place, see if there's anything that catches his attention.
So when you turn on your smell, you just smell like the deep aroma of like good coffee. You know what I mean? You smell like coffee beans, and you smell like steamed milk, and you smell like these really like fresh and vibrant, like delicious smells, and you can smell like even like the wax that kind of is like maybe a couple of years old, that is still on the hardwood floor. You can smell that wax. You can, as you're sitting there looking up at the sign, you can catch the smell of like this perfume that's like just very fragrant, and almost just like I said, is a sign of like something that it's a sign of life. You know what I mean? It's a sign of something that you haven't been connected to in quite a long time. And you look and you see that it's this young lady, brunette, like looks like she may be like of some kind of Middle Eastern descent. And she's in there talking to like a Caucasian guy, who has like his hair in like a man bun, and they're just sitting there having this really like enjoyable conversation. And you could hear them talk, and you can hear the signs of like flirtatiousness that's going on between them. And you can kind of see like her hand gently like patting his knee, and him just like smiling and showing his teeth. And you can hear their conversation. And I'm not going to go through like the conversation, but it's about stuff that people in their early 20s talk about. And you're just kind of, for a moment, you just kind of like find yourself lost in the smell and in their conversation. You know what I mean? Like you're almost drawn into a sense of comfort. I would almost say that you have a warmth and caring that you haven't felt in your life in fucking decades, dude. And you see that in this simple conversation with these smells. Or I mean, you in your hyper vigilant corner of your mind don't sense any threat currently that is within this coffee, at least the indoors of the coffee shop.
What's the barista's willpower score?
We'll say the barista's willpower score is like a 5.
Okay. Two successes to open up telepathy with her.
Okay,
I'm
definitely.
just reading the top layer of her thoughts.
So you're sitting there and you hear this conversation with these people, and then you turn around and you kind of like in the back of your head, like, I got to focus on the mission. You know what I mean? And you turn back and you look at the lady as she's cleaning. And as you kind of you find a moment where you close your eyes for a second. And it's not like you're sitting there like in the middle of this place with your eyes all closed, like, oh, and people are going to see this weird dude standing with his eyes closed. But there comes a moment where you go back and you're looking at the sign and you close your eyes. And you know, when you do this, it feels like it takes like a minute for your eyes to close, but in reality it's just like you're slowing down your thoughts, and you're slowing down everything that's around you, and you're kind of pushing it out of your head. And when you push it out of your head and you feel this absolute like it's like the critical moment where you feel empty before the pain starts, because you're so used to when you have to like empty out your consciousness and empty out who you are, is when the pain starts, and you have to replace that with pain for other skills of yours. We've talked about that before, like the sensory deprivation and all the stuff that you went through and the torture that you went through at the hands of Cynthia. But at this moment you've learned to like push your mind, push everything out of your mind, and you open your eyes, and this lady turns around and she slowly looks at you. And it, like I said, it seems to be going in slow motion. And there comes a moment where she almost thinks that she's about to tell you, ask you, oh, are you ready to make your order? That you look at her and you feel this connection. And within your head, the smells and that conversation that are still lingering in your mind is replaced with what you see of her right now. And you see quickly in your mind, you see like you see a website of like her bank account, and you can kind of see that like it's scrolling up and down, and you can see like the numbers are really low, you know what I mean, like she's stressing. And then you can see like this flash of like her roommate, and you can see like her roommate getting angry at her and like telling her she's not gonna, like, like she will have her rent and don't quit bugging her about her fucking rent. And then you see like this flash of like her father looking down at, you know what I mean, looking down on her. I don't mean like literally looking down at her, but like literally telling her like, can't you do something better with your life? Why don't you go back to school? You know what I mean? Like, why did you have to drop out of school? And then there comes a moment where all these like thoughts come flashing through your head, and then they slowly, you push them out, and then the same pain and remorse come back into your head, and you're seeing like this lady looking back at you smiling, and she's like, are you ready to order, sir?
I think I am.
And she like takes your order, you know what I mean? And as she takes your order, she like takes the cash from you and puts it in the register and goes to making your coffee. What's going on in your head right now as you're standing there waiting for the coffee?
Warren's just sort of getting a sense for the area. He wants to know, through her, he was hoping to see if it was like a particularly busy night, if anything weird had occurred, anything that she was thinking about that may have occurred earlier in the evening, or that she's expecting to occur later in the evening. He's just really sort of getting a sense for the place because he's really not comfortable being outside of the chantry.
Yeah, I feel what you mean, but I would almost say you can take away the thought that if that's what's on her mind, what you saw, then really nothing at work is. You know what I mean? Like that means she has too much time to think. She's not busy enough to keep her mind off of it. So that to me would tell me if she was able to sit there and be thinking about that while at work, then obviously, you know what I mean? She's not busy or something important is going on at work. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
So she eventually, like 5 minutes later, like kind of slides the coffee in the pickup area, which is like to the right of the bar, to which you can have open sight of the back area. She kind of hands you your coffee and smiles at you and turns around and goes back to doing something behind the bar.
Okay. I'll leave her a 20 as a tip, and I'll take the coffee and go outside.
There's a moment where like, she turns around and she like sees you put the 20, like in the jar. You know what I mean? Like she sees it as a 20. She's like, sir,
What?
I think you might have put the wrong bill in here, sir.
No, I didn't.
And she just kind of, you see, she looks perplexed at you for a moment. And you can see like when she's looking at you, and that point where you say no, you didn't, and the way that your facial expression is, and the sound of like the, to be honest, because dude, whenever you do Warren's voice, I just hear a sense of despair, and you can see where like a maternal instinct in her like picks that up, and you can see this look of like sadness and compassion like come across her face as she sees you. And she's kind of like, just, you see she forces a smile, but it's like a warm smile, you know what I mean? Like she wishes she could reach across this bar with her looks and kind of like ease whatever pain that you're feeling at that moment. And she just says, thank you, I really appreciate it, thank you.
Warren will sort of give her a little nod, and then he'll take his coffee and he'll walk to the back And as soon as he opens the doors to the outside and lets go of them, he will activate Obfuscate 2 to sort of just vanish into the crowd.
You see, like, there's like about maybe like five or six, like again, people sitting scattered out, but you see Jenna is like sitting at this table where like four people can sit. It's kind of like one of those higher tables where like the chairs are like almost like bar stools in a way. And it's kind of like in the corner, and you see there's like some rose bushes that are within this area, you know what I mean? That are like planted in a box that are sitting there. And you can see like the street is like driving by, and it's kind of like it's not too hidden, but like on the other side of this like fence where she's at. So we will cut to William. William, you drive your car up. You start like to reiterate. This is in an area. This is in an area of St. Paul where it's not like downtown Minneapolis where it's like these chic clubs and you know what I mean. This is a part of St. Paul where there's like record shops and like used bookstores, and it's definitely like you can tell where like the college kids like to claim this area of their own. You know what I mean? And there's like a couple coffee shops and maybe some like brewery bars. You know what I mean? Where people like local bands will play and stuff. So you're driving like this Beamer in this neighborhood, and I'm not saying you stick out or anything. You know what I mean? But it's definitely not like downtown Minneapolis, and so you pull your car aside, and what are you gonna do?
Is Catal somewhere around here?
Kital, I would say, is gonna probably be because you gave the place to meet at, and so he'll probably be here like 5 minutes after you. Yeah, so you can wait for Kital if you'd like.
You know, I'll probably enter the coffee shop, whatever.
Okay. So as you get out of your car and you're walking along the front sidewalk, like you could see that angle into the back area that I said that Warren could see, and you could see that like Jenna's sitting there at a table. You recognize her, she's sitting there, just not like just kind of looking about.
Well, first I'll probably sort of, give a sort of wave to Jenna, not like smiling at anything, just, to signal I'm here.
She just kind of like waves to you and just kind of does a gentle, gesture for you, you to join her in the back.
Miss Peoples, it's nice to see you again.
After you walk through the back and you get back there and you say that, she like motions, hey, and she gets out of her chair. She's like, hey, it's nice to see you again. She's like, come and have a seat here. Have a seat. Is Katal with you or?
He's coming. He'll be here in a couple of minutes.
How have you been? I haven't talked to you. How's everything? How are you handling everything?
It's fine, I suppose. There's a lot of problems to deal with currently, unfortunately. As you very well know.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear what happened, and we'll talk about this more when Katal gets here. I think we can help you out. I really do, William.
And what have you been up to?
Well, I'm kind of in shock too, and almost in a sense of mourning because Ophelia was a dear friend of mine, and
yes, I'm sure.
She well, we'll wait for Katal to get here. How about that? It's a beautiful night though, isn't it?
It is.
She just kind of like starts small talking. You see Warren, by the way, you see the figure of William walking. And William, why don't you describe real quick, just a quick overview, like how you're dressed at the moment?
Charcoal gray suit, that's probably it.
Tie, no tie, or is he kind of like casual?
Well, I think he'd have a tie at this point, but like very conservative style.
So, Katal, before we even get to your scene, you had something interesting happen to you last session where you had a frenzy and you had to escape. And we know the clan gangrel flaw of picking up an animalistic trait. When that happens, why don't you describe what your animalistic trait is that you picked up?
All right, so I decided that since the traits don't have to be just physical traits, they can also be mental. And so I decided that for Kaitao, he can no longer recognize a human smile as a friendly gesture. Because as with people, like, smiling is a normal thing, but there's no equivalent for any animal, really.
You could even take it one step further and make it perceive smiles as a threat, because when animals show teeth, they sort of threaten each other.
Exactly.
So yeah, I like that a lot. Now, what is going on in your head at the moment, Katal, while you like pull up in front of this coffee shop?
Well, right now what's going through his head is that maybe now that they've had some time to like regain their senses, that he's trying to he's trying to see like, okay, so what can I get out of these people? Because I need, he actually has objectives now. I need to find out what happened to Jonathan Chase and Ophelia. I need to find out, what to do with Jonathan Chase's ghoul. Or can they help me in this? Can they not help me? Do I have to just deal with them? Like I just have to care about the interacting with other kindred now, instead of just ignoring them like I did.
Yeah, exactly. You're kind of thrust into having to be part of the scene, part of the society. Exactly, especially with Annabelle kind of being the primogen now. You know what I mean? And you guys only being too deep. When you get out of the car, you see like William sitting there. You see him with Jenna. You've seen Jenna's face around and everything.
Yeah.
And are you gonna go? What are you gonna do? Are you gonna let me know what you're gonna do? You're gonna go to the coffee shop, walk in there, or?
Yeah. First of all, I'm gonna see if I recognize anyone else, not just at the table, like anyone else in the surrounding like restaurant. Just like, is there anyone else like listening in on this?
Not that you can notice at the moment. You know what I mean? You don't see anyone. You just see like you actually kind of see Jenna strategically chose like an area that like where that table's placed at, there's not area around it where people can linger. You know what I mean? Like the other chairs and everything like that are kind of like, you know what I mean, further away from it. So she was almost tactical in the way that she picked it.
All right. So now that his now that his caution has been satisfied, he will approach the table.
And you see that Warren, by the way, William, you see that, and you see Jenna stand up. She's like, Katal, please have a seat.
All right.
She's like, I'm waiting for my associate to get here, and once he gets here, we can start. And you hear her say that, Warren.
Warren will take a seat next to her, but he'll remain obfuscated.
So you're not going to show yourself to them at all, or?
Not yet.
Okay. She's like,
I want to get their measure first.
Okay. What are you looking for? What are you trying to do?
I'm just looking at, their general appearance, clothing, trying to discern if any of them are carrying weapons, that sort of thing.
Are any of you two carrying weapons at the moment?
No.
I don't think William is.
Okay.
Yeah,
no.
and I gave my gun to.
Oh yeah, he did. Actually,
He did.
I might have that gun, or I don't remember if I got rid of it or not.
I think you threw it away.
Yeah, I think I did.
So yeah, you don't see any weapons on them at the moment. You see, like I said, you see William being as well dressed as he is, and you see Katal. You know what I mean, being how Katal looks with his leather jacket and his jeans, and you know what I mean. You can kind of, I don't know if you want to use like aura perception or anything like that, but they kind of look like, I guess, two somewhat normal individuals.
Nah, he won't use aura perception yet.
Mm-hmm.
After about a minute or two of studying them, he'll pull the lid off of his coffee, take a deep, deep whiff of it, and then he'll put it on the table and he'll drop his obfuscate.
So you two are sitting there like looking around, William and Katal, and then you kind of turn your head and you see that this figure's sitting here. And I'm not gonna do it like they poof out of nowhere. You know what I mean? Like, haha, I was obfuscated, but it was more like, oh, I didn't see you walking. You know what I mean? It was just kind of like you're kind of a little caught off guard.
Yeah. That's how it works, sort of.
Yeah. Like your mind tries to rationalize what happened to where, oh, they must have walked around me, or oh, this guy is quiet on his feet, and you see the figure of Warren sitting there. So you all are sitting there and she's like, oh, sweet. Hello, Warren.
Everyone's here.
Yes.
Start.
Warren, I'd like you to meet William, and I'd like you to meet here Katal. Katal, William, this is Warren. He's a good friend of mine, and he's someone I consider family.
William Strother. Pleasure to meet you.
Warren will nod and he'll hold the coffee cup with both hands as he does so.
Yeah, William will extend his hand and just sort of,
Warren will nod.
Katal, nice to meet you.
Warren will nod.
So I think we all know why we're here. I explained to Warren the situation, but I spoke to you before about how Ophelia and I kind of had similar goals. And I'm afraid what we were working together with, and it saddens me, might be part of the reason why whatever happened to her happened. You know, William, that when I spoke to you and Ophelia for the first time last year, I asked a favor of you to look into that gentleman, Roman Dunsern.
Indeed you did. I'm curious as to why.
Well, I explained to Ophelia that my family is disturbed by not only what Roman represents, but about some of the things that he has done in the city. And Ophelia told me that you all are aware of what he was capable of, and that you, and she looks at you, Katal, even saw him in the middle of one of these such acts.
So, how long have you known about this?
We have had our ideas that it's been going on for a while, but we feel that Roman is systemic to his issue is a symptom of a much larger issue going on in the city.
Oh, you have no idea.
Well, that's why we're here, so we can all have an idea.
All right, Kaitao, what's your willpower?
Max or current?
We'll say current.
Okay, current willpower, I have 4 left.
0 successes.
Okay, well, then we're
My
So
mind is a
you-
fortress.
Stupid ones.
while they're sitting here talking about things that you have already been briefed on, kind of by Jenna. You kind of closed your eyes for a second while they're talking, and you see for a second William, while Catal's like saying, how long have you known this? You're kind of out of the corner of your eyes, looking at this oddball with the cup of coffee in his hand, because I would say that maybe this guy makes you feel like, you know what I mean, like he's not all there, and you see that he closes his eyes for a second, like he's like thinking to himself, and then he opens them, and you see he kind of like looks right at Katal. And Katal, there's a moment where you're talking, you're doing what normal people do. Well, you know what I mean? You're looking around, and for a second you look at him, and then you see him looking at you, and then he just looks away, and you kind of just like shrug it off and continue on with the conversation. When you what it is with you, Warren, is you do that, like you push everything out and you look right at him, and when you look at him, like a Katal's eyes, and he looked at you, it's like slamming your face against the wall almost. And for a second, when you kind of like are sitting there taken aback, and you look at him, you realize like you get the sense from him like apex predator. You get the sense from him like where for a second you stop and you realize like, oh, this isn't like the coffee shop person, or this isn't like the normal people I've done this with. And but he doesn't do it as a threatening way. You just sense this predator side of him that almost like makes his mind, like you think that's maybe the reason why you couldn't reach into his mind. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
By the way,
Huh.
which you'd probably also notice because William is at the moment at Humanity 3, so he sort of doesn't do these little human things that people do, these small twitches or blink. He doesn't, I think he'd probably even like blink a lot less often than a normal person would.
Yeah, I like you bring that up. I like that.
So
Yeah, like he's like
it's not like a normal person sitting there, just doing something on their phone or whatever. It's literally like a statue there.
Okay.
And I got a question too, William. Would you say that William has an intensity when he looks at things now, with like
Oh yeah.
dementation and everything? Like, so when he everything's like more like intense. You know what I mean? In your face, like that.
Mhm.
Okay, gotcha. That's a good point, Warren. You're looking at these two and you realize, like, because you haven't interacted with that many Kindred other than Jenna and Cynthia. You know what I mean? And Jenna's kind of like one end of the spectrum, and Cynthia's on the other. And you're looking at these two, and you're getting more of the Cynthia. Not saying they're gonna be mean to you. I'm not meaning that, but just like you're getting more of the Cynthia spectrum of Kindred from these two than you do the Jenna. Does that make sense? She looks at you. She's like, "Yeah, it's a symptom of a much larger issue, Katal. But we can't just go making accusations. We can't go doing anything about this because he serves someone who's one of our kind." Do you understand what I mean by that?
Yes.
And I think if we need to get to the bottom of whatever happened to Ophelia, we can work together. And as a olive branch, I would like to extend the offers of Warren here to help you out. Warren is the owner of a specific skill set that my family feels that can be used to help you and thus help us get the information that we need.
And why haven't we seen him before till now? He been stashed away in a corner somewhere?
You know how our type are. Sometimes we like to be alone. And soon those days become years and those years become decades. And then for some whatever reason, you're dragged out of that self-induced seclusion. I mean, we've seen more of each other, and she motions to you, William and Katal, than we've seen, 20 years? 10 years? Matter of fact, I met William for the first time, simply last year.
True enough.
Here's the thing, gentlemen. Something's happening in this city.
You got that right.
2 people from your group are gone. We want to help strengthen you. We want to help you meet the goals that we feel we share with you. Roman needs to go. And for Roman to go, We simply just can't make him disappear. Who does he work for? Why is he doing what he does? What does he do? Why is he here? Why is a Scottish man here? Is it because of Rita Giovanni's here? Or did she bring him here for a reason to do something? That's not even talking about his peculiar tastes.
Yes. But rumors do flow around the Giovanni.
Yeah, they do. And when there's smoke, there's fire, right?
Usually.
So, do you accept our offer? Do you accept our offer of friendship? To strengthen your group again?
Well, so far I've only heard you talk. What does Warren have to say about this?
How about this? I'll let you three get to know each other. Warren, you can take a cab home if you wish, or I'm sure one of these gentlemen will give you a ride home. Do you have an issue with that?
I'll figure something out.
All right, Warren. You have a good evening. And she kind of pats his back and she's like, you too. And she extends her hand to you, William.
You as well. Enjoy your
Yeah.
evening.
You too. And you too, Katal.
Warren will absent-mindedly dip his fingers into the scalding hot coffee and just hold them there.
You kind of see him doing that, you two, as you guys are sitting there.
What does William feel around Warren? Like, are there drops there? Is he like...
No, you don't feel like
No,
you're sitting there looking
like a
at him.
void?
Yeah. You don't hear right now like anything from, you know what I mean, that ocean or anything to that extent. But you definitely give me a how about this? Are you trying to hide your pain right now, Warren?
No, not at all.
How about you both give me a perception and empathy roll?
Okay, difficulty?
Let's do 6.
Received. I got 2 successes.
2 successes, and what about you, Kato? All right, so you both got 2 successes. How about this, Warren? You explain to them, like, you know what I mean, what they would perceive by being empathetic towards you.
He puts his fingers into the coffee sort of absent-mindedly without really focusing on it. And then he winces a little bit, but he seems to relax a little at the same time. And his eyes tend to get a little bit sharper focus to them the longer he holds his fingers in the coffee.
So he's like one of those people like who like pull their own hairs out of their arms when they're nervous or something like that, right?
Sort of, yeah.
Like pinch themselves. And when they not even including that, when you normally sit there and talk to them from now on, would they see like the personal pain that you're going through or anything like that?
Probably not. Not unless he's actively injuring himself in some way.
All right, definitely. So, okay, scenes on you three. Jenna walks off. You guys are there on your own. You notice what I just said. Go ahead, scenes on you guys.
Doesn't that hurt?
Yes.
So I do it.
Why wouldn't I?
Because generally things avoid pain.
I suppose.
All right.
So what have you found out so far? And what do you need me to do?
We'll figure that out later. First, we want to know more about you. Tell us something about yourself. How you came to meet Jenna, for example.
She's a sort of sibling, I guess.
So you have the same sire?
Yes, we do.
I see. Well, yeah, so I see. She does seem to care about you. Katao, are you here by car?
Yeah.
See.
I'm curious. What do you feel you have to? Which do you feel have to solve this for? For your family, or to help us?
Both?
Really?
Yes.
Hmm.
My family wants me to help you, so I'm going to help you.
Do you? Why you? Why not say Jenna?
Because I'm expendable.
Huh.
That seems like a very harsh view of family.
You're telling me.
How long have you been working for your family? Tell us.
What year is it now?
2010.
So, maybe 70 years or so, give or take.
So, what? You're some thaumaturgical prodigy that they just keep in their basement whenever they need something?
No, I'm not particularly knowledgeable in thaumaturgy.
Then what are you good at, Warren?
Finding things out.
I can do that.
We've been doing lots of that.
I think I'm better at it than the both of you.
Maybe. But you're not exactly inconspicuous.
I'm not inconspicuous.
No. You're so quiet that you stand out.
Hmm.
I suppose.
Katao, why did Jenna do? Why? Oh,
Well, he's what we've got.
that's what we've got.
More than we had before.
True, don't look a gift horse in the mouth and all that.
All right. So we'll give you a chance. Okay.
Okay.
He said you needed a lift?
I can catch a cab if it's an inconvenience.
Oh no, it's no trouble at all.
All right.
Okay.
You mind taking him, William? I have to go meet with go to a few meetings.
I see. Of course, it'll be no trouble for me. Shall we go?
But before we do, just give me your number. If we do need your expertise in finding things, we'll let you know. Warren, right?
Yes, Warren. He'll give you his number. And your willpower's still 4, right, Katao?
Yeah.
3 successes that time to get into your head.
All right, so you spent the willpower point?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. What's your willpower currently now?
My current willpower is 6.
How it works, Katao, is basically where their thoughts are as flowing streams of impressions and images rather than a sequence of prose. Instead of making flat statements like he's planning to kill his former lover, you see a fleeting series of visions, like a couple kissing, such as that. So that explained it, like try to explain it that way. Am I making sense? You know what I mean? Rather like how I explained.
Okay. So I guess right now, like he'll sort of have like a image of like Warren himself, just be like, just sort of like dismiss, just like still like uncertainty about him, just like still unsure what the heck how to feel about this guy, and then it'll sort of like shift to a sort of like an image of Annabelle and of Carla, and just sort of like trying to. It's almost like a puzzle piece, just like how do they fit together, sort of thing.
Okay. So no thought on the meeting that you're going to?
That was a meeting, actually. That was.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And then we will cut to, so you guys are all leaving. Katao, you go. What's going on in Katao's head right now? I mean, we just had the flash, I know, but like I legitimately want to know like what's going on in his head right now.
So right now, his current game plan is to talk to Annabelle and see. Okay, so I know I currently have Carla stashed somewhere. Now I need to find somewhere more permanent for her. So I'm trying to see. Okay, can I? I need to just like give her to someone I can reliably count on somewhat. And right now, Annabelle is pretty much like I don't really have many options that I can reliably say like this person's not something bad isn't going to happen. And so Annabelle's like honestly the only candidate left by this point.
Are you going to call her when you get to your car, or what are you going to
Yeah,
do?
I'm gonna call and just say like, hey, I want to meet and talk about something.
Yeah, it's funny because I was going to call you now. Definitely. Where do you want to meet at when you speak?
I don't know. It doesn't really have to be anywhere private. We can meet wherever.
I'll just meet you in front of your apartment. I'm within the area. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Okay. Definitely. I'll be there. I'll see you. And as you drive up, you park into the shitty parking lot that's on the side of your shitty apartment, along with all the other kind of like cars are hardly being held together. And as you drive into the parking lot, you kind of see like Annabelle sitting on the steps, that lead up into the apartment, outside. And as you come walking around, she kind of like stands up and, is like, this is crazy. How many people I have reaching out to me now?
Yeah, like more Kindred dying and or Mistress Woman and like last 2 days on like versus like 20 like 100 years. It's kind of makes people talk.
How you doing with all this? I mean, shit, all three of these people that are gone.
Well, it's definitely made me a lot more interested in making people, aside from just you, care whether or not I live or die.
Yes, yeah. Because they think they can use us. That's what it is. So, two things I gotta tell you.
Mm.
One's good news, I think. The other's probably gonna shock you.
All right.
First good news is I had someone from the Nosferatu reach out to me. He says he wants to broker a meeting between you and someone from his clan that supposedly this Ophelia that you knew had a relationship with, who's now in the city.
Huh.
I guess this person just showed up and is wanting to get to the bottom of what happened to her.
Didn't know she knew any Nosferatu. Okay, I'll take that into consideration. Okay, what's
And she just hands you a piece of paper, like from her notepad, folded, and hands it to you. Like, this is his number. I don't know how to say this, but second is Ty is no longer the sheriff.
What?
Ty resigned. He's gone.
Gone as in what?
Gone as in he said, take this job and fucking shove it, and supposedly left.
The city or just the job?
The city, from what I heard. By the way, supposedly it's because of some Melkavians that were brought over. She was ranting about how, I don't know. I'm trying to get to the bottom of it. But guess what? Now there's 4 Melkavians in the city, and supposedly Kimberly has met final death.
I might know a bit more about that.
She closed her eyes for a second, and you like when you say that, you see she closed her eyes, and you see like her throat start to ripple, and you kind of like what the fuck, and you're like looking at her, and you just hear like this guttural like kind of sound coming from inside her throat. And you see like her eyes open up, and she just is like staring like intensely at you right now. You never seen her stare so hard. You know what I mean? And she speaks, and you see kind of like her fangs are out just a little bit. You know what I mean? And she's like, "What do you mean? You know about this?"
Look, I'm telling you this now because the more people who know are aware of this is just
Stop. Choose your words. What you're about to tell me carefully right now.
It was one of the Malkavians who killed Bugs.
One of them, okay? One that's still alive?
No, I saw that personally.
So you killed Kimberly? Because what I'm hearing is that Kimberly embraced this Melkavian, and this Melkavian went rogue, and he killed Kimberly, and then he met final death. So did you kill the rogue one? Is that who you killed?
Yes.
Don't tell anyone else this.
I wasn't planning to, but things.
So wait, you're telling me you're the one who told Ty?
Yes.
Why did you tell him? What were you thinking?
I needed a favor from him. I needed him to do something for me.
What did you need him to do for you? Why couldn't you come to me?
Because I didn't know who exactly. I'm not sure what I was thinking. I thought maybe because Jonathan Chase, when he disappeared, not all of his stuff. He had the ghoul.
Again, why didn't you come to me?
I didn't know whether or not I could trust you in this matter, okay?
You are telling me that you don't know if you could fucking trust me, and you went to someone outside our clan?
Yes,
and now
I'm telling you that. How often have we talked in the last 20 years?
So what made you think you could trust fucking Ty?
He knew, but...
Because of some misconception of fucking romantic relationship that him and that loser fucking sire of yours had, who left you fucking hanging?
I admit this is not a good decision, but please, watch what you say.
Yeah, give me a self-control roll, difficulty like 3. I feel if you have to say watch what you say, you know what I mean? Like,
I got 2 successes.
Okay, so that's good. So you sit there and you say that, and there's a moment where like you kind of like step forward a step, and you know what I mean? You kind of say that forcefully, and you see there's a moment where like her like glare, you know what I mean? Like kind of like dims a little bit, and she's like, "I'm sorry, I apologize. My emotions got the better of me."
I know about that all too well.
Katao, you got to be careful, Katao.
I know.
Seriously.
That's why now I am coming to you about this.
Oh, fuck, Katao. What have you gotten yourself into?
I don't know. But here's the thing. Chase's ghoul, he was talking to her about, I don't know, when we talked, he wasn't the kind of kid to care particularly what we thought of him. He was a bit loose-lipped, if you want to say. And with his ghoul, he might have told her stuff. Stuff he might be able to use.
Catal, you just gotta tell me what you're all involved in right now.
All right. So, it's where do we begin? I guess you could say it's all started back last year when those murders were going on, and people wanted to keep make sure things got quietly taken care of. Things got complicated towards the end. Don't tell anyone about this, but the prince's mother and his sister, he ghouled them. I don't know how long ago, like 100 years ago, and I heard they told us stories of what he'd done to them back when they were still alive and for decades after he had changed. Not good things at all. And well, I know it wasn't us. I just still don't know how the hell, but they're dead now. We didn't do anything. They just some kind of magic thing I don't know happened, and now they're dead. And I don't know. Maybe something. I don't. Then Kimberly, the Malkavian, came around. She, you know, made all the new Malkavians running around. They kill bugs. It's.
Couple things. Aaron used to tell me when him and I used to spend a lot of time together. He never outright told me, but he always implied that something about Philip didn't sit right with him. You never got to know Aaron like I did. You see her like looking at the sidewalk for a second. She goes and sits down on, you know what I mean, one of the steps. He always made it seem like things weren't as clean cut as they seemed on the outside when it came to our society here in the city. So I'd like to say that I wish I could say I was surprised to hear what you told me about him, but I'm really not now, which is even more fucked up. Makes me feel fucked up. But you've just told me two different things about these Malkavians, Catal. You told me that one killed bugs, but now you're telling me all four killed bugs? You're talking about these three new people that were introduced?
It's more like they were involved. They didn't they weren't the ones who killed them specifically, but they were involved.
Why have you kept this to yourself? I mean, you told Ty in a roundabout way some of this. Is there a reason why you didn't go public with this? Is there a reason, like,
I,
did you make a deal with them or what?
when the Malkavians, we met with them, and they wanted things to quiet down, and in exchange for making sure things ended peacefully, they gave us the one who killed bugs.
So was the lone wolf. It was kind of someone who went rogue.
Yes.
Why did Kimberly bring these people over? What was her rationale?
I don't know. She tried to explain it to us. It just was just a crazy nonsense. It made no sense to me.
Is this what happened to Ophelia and Jonathan?
I don't know. We think we went to Ophelia's and there was ash on the ground.
I have no idea who may have done it.
She sent us an email saying she thought it was
Text message, but go ahead. Yeah.
text message, whatever. Roman Dunster. You heard of him?
Roman Dunstern. That's what is Roman Dunstern? That's Rita Giovanni's companion. What?
Well, let's just say he gets, if what I've heard of the prince, Roman Dunster's not too far behind. It depends.
So are you looking into him now about the murders of Ophelia and Jonathan? Have you confirmed?
We caught a little glimpse of what he's really like last year.
Oh man, I don't even know if I want to know. What did you catch a glimpse of?
Let's just say he likes his food young.
You see her just close her eyes and she like looks down at the ground.
It's because of him. I got these things. I rolled up sleeve to show off the hair.
You lost control, huh? Whatever you saw was that bad.
Yeah, it wasn't that moment, but it messed with me.
Has anyone else reached out to you? Has anyone reached out to you?
Well, and here's a bit of good news in all this, is that I know the Tremere, apparently they're also looking into Roman Dunstern. They don't like him but just about as much as we don't.
You know, that's the only clan Jenna has not once reached out. Her and the Nosferatu are the two only clans that haven't like reached out aggressively to try to help take care of us.
Well, that's something. Don't know what it is, but it's something.
But they're interested in this Roman thing.
Yeah. And I might have a possible way to help us as a clan.
What's that?
Well, we were talking to Ty about this, and you know how Kimberly the Malkavian was supposed to be the scourge, get all the thin bloods out of here, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We found a couple.
Oh, fuck. Katao.
And I know you're not going to believe this. I barely believe it. One of them is pregnant. The only other people who know this, as far as I know, are Ty, and I think maybe the Tremere. I don't know exactly. I think Ophelia mentioned she talked to them.
I don't even know what to say to all this.
I
What do you need me to do?
Right now, I think that if we can, I don't know, maybe if we can see what we can have Carla Chase's Ghoul tell us about some kind of leverage over the venture, or whatever. We could try to introduce one of the Thin Bloods into our clan. See what we can do about that.
Okay. Are you working with the Tremere on this Roman thing now? Is that your immediate goal?
Yeah, they just came back from a meeting. They're sending some guy named Warren. They're basically loaning him out to us as a gesture that they're invested in this.
I've heard the name, but I've never met him before. Here's what I suggest right now. Contact these Nosferatu, see what they have to offer.
Right.
Lenny, he seems like an amicable type of person. Contact him, see what he has to offer. Listen, I'll keep fighting my fight. You fight yours. You let me know what you need from me, and I will vice versa. You understand?
All right.
We cannot hide this anymore. We can't hide stuff from each other. Do you understand, Kato?
I'll try.
Okay. Call this guy. Do what you got to do. I got to figure something out. And she gets up. You might want to roll down your sleeves. And she just smiles at you and starts walking towards her car in the parking lot.
Hello, folks. Have you ever wished you could have an easy way to find gameplay videos and podcasts, or just media in general that deals with your favorite White Wolf role-playing games? Or have you ever wished you could find a forum to share gameplay that you have recorded, one which wouldn't be drowned out by random posts and discussion, so that your media could get the attention you want? Well, we have the answer for you in a Facebook group we run called White Wolf RPGs Gameplay and Media. The group is specifically ran with the sole intent of it being a one-stop shop for people to view or share media involving the games we all love. We take thorough steps to ensure the page does not become cluttered and is easy to traverse. We are currently over 1,000 members strong, and we are continuing to rapidly grow with new media being shared every day. Stop on by. We hope to see you there. High Level Games, the industry's first choice in taking your games to the next level. We are a podcast blog and new media network at highlevelgames.ca. We have blog posts about all of your favorite games going up 5 days a week, and a podcasting network with actual plays and shows that discuss role-playing games, with more rolling out all the time. We are on iTunes, Twitch, and YouTube. Find out more information at highlevelgames.ca, a site that certainly isn't controlled by a shadowy board of directors of otherworldly origin. That's highlevelgames.ca.
Please, help. They're coming.
The Los Angeles metropolitan area is constantly growing and changing. The Central District is full of new buildings. The Hollywood and Wilshire districts, once far from downtown, now are part of it which spreads past Beverly Hills and out to the ocean. But why is all this going on in Los Angeles? Why is Los Angeles an exploding city?
Neon Masquerade.
The Demon's Mirror.
13 Candles.
3 chronicles running through the undead veins of the City of Angels.
The Esoteric Order of Roleplayers Actual Play podcast invites you to drink deeply.
Go to eorpodcast.com and search the duets tag to find out more.